Hi, I'm Tim Peaden, and I've lived down east all my life, and I've met some extraordinary people here, and I've been to some remarkable places here, and I've heard some exceptional stories here. Here, down east. Now let me tell you what's happening in Tim Peaden's down east. At a young age, I was working in the cucumber and tobacco fields. I remember in the early days when NASCAR was only viewed on CBS and ABC, but our family loved watching NASCAR racing. The first track that I viewed a NASCAR race was at the North Wilkesboro Speedway. It was at a .625 mile track, which had those upward backstretch and downward front stretches that made it interesting racing. I remember we parked in fields that looked like cow pastures for parking lots. And back then, Holly Farms chicken was big in the area. The second track that I remember viewing a NASCAR race was at the North Carolina Motor Speedway, known as The Rock. Both of these tracks now have closed, and NASCAR has chose to move to bigger markets, but it's small tracks like North Wilkesboro and the North Carolina Motor Speedway that made racing famous in this area. One of my favorite local tracks to watch NASCAR racing is at the East Carolina Motor Speedway in Robertsonville. It's 25 miles from Greenville. It's an asphalt track, D-shaped oval, 3/8 of a mile long, and there's racing most Saturday nights. I remember going to the East Carolina Motor Speedway back when Dale Jr. and his sister Kelly both raced here, and also along with Big Jim Kelly. But we've got new superstars now at the North Carolina Motor Speedway, like Thomas Burbage, Wesley Johnson, Jeff Sliflett, and a young lady from Chesapeake, Virginia, Maddie Ryan Mulligan. All these racers will be racing for the Late Model Track Championship in 2018. This show will give you weekly updates from the East Carolina Motor Speedway, highlights of weekly racings, and updated in the points. So stay tuned weekly to what's happening down east. And now in the Bandolier division, it was Ethan Johnson starting on the pole with a time of 18.634 with the average speed of 72.448 miles an hour. But it was Parker Frazier coming from third starting spot to win the race. Now let's get started in the Bomber division where Mike Parrish was the winner. And now in the Street Stock division, Mike Cooper started on the pole with a time of 16.630, an average speed of 81.179 miles an hour. And starting second was Scott Lawrence with a time of 16.741, average speed of 80.640. And starting third was Jesse Council with a time of 16.745 with an average speed of 80.621. And starting fourth was Chris Connor with an average speed of 80.271. And now let's watch the race already in progress.
driving Ed's car. I'm picking up the win. Mike, we're sitting on the pole. Thank the Lord for a safe race. Larry Bimmer's Masonry, Jimmy Council's Garage, DP Performance Engines, Better Start Rehab, CDealerCalls.com, Juliet Charlie Aviation, my wife Shelly, Joey, and everybody for coming out.
You talked last week about all the work that went in this car. You got a first and a third to start the season, so not too bad.
It's not terrible. We'll keep working on it.
All right, Jesse, thank you. Jesse California, September of last year doing that.
He hasn't.
Man, you won the pole. You led about 24 laps. You just couldn't hold him off. Get a good run. You know, you got a new car. You ran pretty well last week, so you're off to a pretty good start. This car is getting a little better, and I think maybe next time you might have something for us.
Yeah, well, we didn't handle real good in practice, and we changed the stuff around between qualifying and the race, and it definitely done a whole lot better, but it just wasn't quite good enough to hold Travis off. Good race, Travis. He gave me a little bump, but hey, I would have done the same to him if I'd been that close for that long too, so it's all good.
And the Cooperettes are here as always, and I know you want to say thank you.
Yeah, I want to thank all my help. I got to thank Scott Phillips, who puts a lot of time in the car. Brandon, Nathan came all the way from Texas to help us this week. I thank all of them. I thank my wife and coming out and supporting and making clean noise for us. Thank you.
Looking forward to seeing you April 7th. Thank you, Mike Cooper.
Good job.
Well, man.
Tough luck, Travis, in the Charger race, but you jumped in the familiar lady here, and you got to win, man. And it was a tough race. You were able to get by Cooper. You earned it for sure.
Yeah, it's a little strange getting out of those cars. I haven't driven this car in a while, and getting back in it, everything's a little different. But you know, it's just like riding a bicycle. If you can ride it one time, you can ride it every time. But the Charger car will be back. We have some engine issues with it. We'll get it fixed to be back next time. I'd like to thank Ed Lane for letting me drive the car.
The event here at the East Carolina Motor Speedway is going to be on Saturday, April the 7th. That is Saturday, April 7th. Hope you will come out. This is week 2 at the East Carolina Motor Speedway. Great crowd. We had a little rain earlier, but that has not dampened the enthusiasm here at the racetrack. Turned out to be a beautiful day. Great to be here for PittCountyPost.com and GPAT Channel 23. Thanks to Tim Peaden and everyone at PittCountyPost.com for allowing us to do this. I'm Alan Vick along with Rylan Truhl as we continue to watch Brandon Clemens in that 7 car. He was your pole sitter, and he has led every lap. But the 24 is not going anywhere. Last couple laps, he's been a tenth or two quicker than your leader, so we could have a battle shaping up for the lead.
Yeah, that's going to happen sooner than we think, I believe. And I've been keeping my eye out on Joseph Pittman. He started in the back of the pack. He's worked his way up to 9th already. He's got Tim Grimsley to deal with here in the future, but we'll see how he negotiates that track.
Joseph knows how to get around this place, man. He's won a lot of races, won championships. He knows how to get it done. As we see Clemens now putting another lap on the 23 of David Willis. Right now we still have 11 cars in the lead lap. Brandon Clemens, A.J. Sanders, Buckshot Jones, Chris Hetu, Michael Tucker, Travis Miller, Shane Dublin, Tim Grimsley, Joseph Pittman, Dylan Newsom, and Robert Moore. Your cars in the lead lap here. 24 of 50. Next time by the field, we'll see the cross flags. Terry Bullock takes that green and the caution flag and crosses them, and that signifies halfway home for the 50-lapper. Caution on the racetrack. We have caution. The 4-car, Buckshot Jones, up in a cloud of smoke. He was running third. Obviously, big problems for the 4 as we're under caution for the first time for the mini stocks at lap 25.
Yeah, that's definitely going to possibly a little cleanup crew is going to be needed for that oil, maybe some stay dry, but I'm not really sure what let go on that engine, but that's a shame. That's the first time I've seen that car this year.
Tough break for Buckshot. He was running a solid third and had the leaders in sight, but he brings out caution number 1 for the mini stocks right at the halfway point, and that's going to save several cars, Rylan, from going a lap down. Your leader is Brandon Clemens. We're here today, East Carolina Motor Speedway in Robertsonville for PittCountyPost.com and GPAT Channel 23 in Greenville. It is a privilege to be here doing this today. Thank you, Tim Peaden, for allowing me to be a part of it. I'm Alan Vick. He's Rylan Truel, as we call the action here at the East Carolina Motor Speedway. And Rylan, like I mentioned earlier, we had a little rain, but my goodness, it's turned out to be a very, very nice day for racing.
Yeah, it really has. It's turned out to be a fantastic afternoon, and I'll tell you what, right before that caution, I saw some action on the track picking up between 7th, 8th, and 9th. That was Shane Dublin, number 9 car, Tim Grimsley in the number 1, and Joseph Pittman in the 08. I got a feeling when the green flag drops again, the action's going to pick right on back up where it left off.
It's going to be interesting, too, because we saw the 24 car running second, A.J. Sanders running very comparable lap, and Tim Grimsley, Joseph Pittman up to 8th. Give 9th to Dylan Newsom, give 10th to Robert Moore. Those are your lead lap vehicles. Track cleanup looks like it's almost finished. They've got a couple of more areas going into turn 3. They're going to button up, and we should be back green flag racing momentarily here. PittCountyPost.com and GPAT Channel 23. Facility like this without great people, and we've got some great people here at the East Carolina Motor Speedway.
You are correct about that.
Field forms up 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 by 2. As we get ready to go 24 of 50 laps complete for the mini stocks. Brandon Clemens on the inside, A.J. Sanders on the outside. Then it's Chris He2, Michael Tucker, Travis Miller, Shane Dublin, Tim Grimsley, Joseph Pittman, and Dylan Newsom, rounding out your top 10. So I think we're going to take one more lap to make sure the field is properly aligned, and we will resume racing. I tell you what, if the final 25 laps of this race are as exciting as the first 25, we're going to have a whale of a finish. Lights are out atop the Perry Performance Chevrolet pace car with Ernie behind the wheel. So that means in about a half a lap, we're going to go green flag racing for the mini stocks here on PittCountyPost.com and GPAT Channel 23.
Yeah, I have a feeling when the green flag drops, it's about to get pretty exciting.
These two cars up front are very equal. Very equal. Watching those lap times, they mirror each other in the first 24 laps, so we should have quite a battle heading into turn 1. Here we go. Terry Bullock waves that green flag. We are back underway for the mini stocks here at the East Carolina Motor Speedway. On the outside is A.J. Sanders looking, and as Clemens in the 7 gets sideways, Sanders takes advantage. He goes to the lead. Your brand new leader, A.J. Sanders in the 24. Brandon Clemens trying to fight back on the inside. But Rylan, we got a side-by-side battle for the lead, and there's a car spinning and hitting the wall hard right here at the start-finish line. That is the number 53 car. That is Travis Miller. And boy, Travis whacked that wall right at the start-finish line, and we are back under caution. See Travis moving around in the car, so he's okay. Didn't quite see what started that, but we saw the end result, and there's a lot of fluid on the racetrack right underneath the start-finish line.
Yeah, and it looked like it actually started right there out of turn number 4. You can see the tire marks right there past the fence, and not really sure exactly what happened, but somebody must have clipped him, or he clipped something, and that sent him into the outside retaining wall.
Right in front of our position is where it happened, and again we see Travis moving around, so he's fine. There's another guy who's won a ton of races here at the East Carolina Motor Speedway, won last week as a matter of fact in another car, but Travis Miller will not win today as the front of that number 53 is wadded up for sure, and we're back under caution. 25 of 50 laps complete.
Yeah, you can see some fluid in front of his car there.
Yeah, definitely got the radiator, for sure. Travis was having a good run. He was running up at about the 5th or 6th position when the accident happened. So unfortunate that would happen to Travis. Travis is a good guy, raced a lot of laps around this East Carolina Motor Speedway, but today will end prematurely as we see the 44 of Dylan Newsom pulling up. Talking to Travis, don't know if that was, if maybe the 44 and 53 made some contact or not, but nobody seems mad at anybody. It's just one of those things, but we're going to need a record down here to move this 53 off as we see Travis getting out of the car. And again, thank goodness he's okay. That was a hard hit.
Yeah, that was pretty rough looking.
No soft walls yet here at the East Carolina Motor Speedway. That is concrete, so when you hit, you know it.
Yeah, and then as the spectators, we can feel it too, because you slap that concrete wall, it gives a little rumble.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, right at the flag stand is where that happened, right underneath Terry Bullock, as we're now in a red flag condition here at the East Carolina Motor Speedway. Again, the car 53 of Travis Miller. The reason for the caution is the wrecker is going to back up and hook up to that number 53. As you watch the mini stock race, we are halfway done with the mini stocks, 25 of 50 laps complete. See Norman Williamson down there assisting Travis Miller. Again, Travis walking around, no problem. I believe he's fine. I would imagine his feelings and his wallet may be hurting right now, but thank goodness physically he's okay.
Oh yeah, you know the pocketbook's hurting right now.
Absolutely. Is that going to hook that good-looking number 53 of Travis Miller up and get it off the racetrack? And the track crew hard at work. We see Terry Bullock down there. We see Robert Turner. We see others putting down and sweeping stay dry, or kitty litter, as some people like to call it, to absorb the fluids and get this racetrack back in race-ready condition as quickly as possible. Your running order, A.J. Sanders. We had a new leader. Sanders took the lead from Clemens, and they were side by side battling for the lead when the problem started with Travis Miller. A.J. Sanders, your leader. Brandon Clemens runs second. Shane Dublin, Chris Hetu, Michael Tucker, Joseph Pittman, Tim Grimsley, Robert Moore, Dylan Newsom. Those are your lead lap cars as of right now under a red flag condition with 25 of 50 laps complete here on GPAT Channel 23 and PittCountyPost.com. And there's our buddy John Vick down below throwing out T-shirts. Ryland, we have headphones on and we can still hear John Vick.
Oh yeah, man, he's pretty loud.
John Vick is a tremendously talented track promoter that does so many things here at the East Carolina Motor Speedway. And people ask me all the time, are you any kin to John Vick? I say, absolutely not. He is from the wealthy, rich, handsome Vicks, in the world. I'm from the poor, average-looking Vicks. So John and I are of no kin whatsoever, but John does a fantastic job as the race promoter here in Robertsonville at the East Carolina Motor Speedway.
Yeah, he really does. He's always busy. Always busy.
I've known John, since he was a kid in radio back probably 20, 25 years ago, and he transitioned into the racing business, and I believe John Vick was destined to be a track promoter. I know he loves what he does, and he works awfully hard. I've never seen a man spend more time on his cell phone than he does.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's always doing something.
Never a dull moment for John Vick. He works the crowd out here, and we have a nice crowd. You see the crowd watching about to get back underway. 25 of 50 laps complete for the mini stocks. It is A.J. Sanders. It is Brandon Clemens on the front row. Row 2, Shane Dublin, Chris Hetu. Row 3 to Michael Tucker and Joseph Pittman. I'm Alan Vick along with Ryland Truell for PittCountyPost.com. GPAT Channel 23. Green flag coming back out for the mini stocks.
Yeah, the guy to watch right here is probably Joseph Pittman.
Green flag. A.J. Sanders shoots out into the lead. Brandon Clemens goes with him. The battle is for third on back. The 09 of Shane Dublin and the 01 of Chris Hetu doing battle. Here, like you said, Ryland, here comes Joseph Pittman up on the outside trying to make something happen. And we got a battle for the lead as Clemens trying to get under A.J. Sanders, cannot make it happen. It is A.J. Sanders, Brandon Clemens, Shane Dublin, 1, 2, 3.
Side-by-side battle a moment ago between Joseph Pittman and 01 machine. That's settled down a little bit, but off turn number 2, there seem to be single file action starting to come around for the car number 1. Tim Grimsley to Dylan Newsom.
Battle for the lead. Here comes Brandon Clemens. He had the lead for the first 24 laps of this race, and he wants it back. Brandon Clemens on the inside. A.J. Sanders on the outside. Clemens is going to make the pass and goes back into the lead. Let's watch for the crossover here.
Yeah, as soon as these guys, they make a mistake, something like that, Dublin is right there in third position. Show them the bid to get it.
Great battle for the lead, and look back at third, fourth, and fifth. They are laying in wait. If something happens to those leaders, they are right there. We're talking about the 09 of Shane Devlin, the 18 of Michael Tucker, the 01 of Chris Hitu. Caution as the 23 of David Willis has spun going into turn 3. Caution number 3 for the mini stocks. Don't believe David hit anything. This should be a relatively short caution, but ladies and gentlemen, after caution number 3, it's time to go back racing. Green flag for the mini stocks back in the air.
And again, side-by-side action as Brandon Clemens goes on the inside of car number 24. We've got trouble in the back. Big trouble as the 87 just spun around car number 1. That was Tim Grimsley. That looked pretty intentional to me. But
yeah, and here comes Grimsley, and he is not happy. Don't know what precipitated all that, but an 87 of Moore, he had a little bit of damage before. Now he's got a lot of damage.
oh yeah.
He's done.
Yep, they're gonna have to park it, I believe.
87 just drove right into the back of Grimsley.
Out having a great afternoon of fun racing.
It is a family atmosphere here at the East Carolina Motor Speedway. Bring the kids. You can also bring grandma and grandpa. The entire family can enjoy racing. 30 of 50 laps complete for the mini stocks. We're going to re-rack them and do it again. Brandon Clemens on the inside, number 7 on the outside, 24 of A.J. Sanders, Shane Dublin, Michael Tucker, and Chris Hitu, your top 5, and we'll see if we can get some green flag racing in. This has been not a dull moment here for the mini stocks.
Green flag back in the air, side by side on the front. Brandon Clemens is going to take the inside lane again. Inches his way almost in front of A.J. Sanders, but doesn't get it done. Sanders does not. Back behind them, looks like car number 44 in the 08 of Joseph Pittman. They're getting into a little battle. And we got a lap on the board.
The 7 car of Clemens with about a 2-car length lead now on the 24 of Sanders. Running third with not a scratch on the car is Shane Dublin in the 09. Back to 4th now. 16 of Michael Tucker. Chris Hitu runs in 5th. And like you said, Rylan, Joseph Pittman and Dylan Newsom are having a little war of real estate right now here at the East Carolina Motor Speedway. Pittman wins that battle momentarily as we see the 23 of Willis on pit road.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what happened to the 23 machine, but apparently they don't have it together today. That's unfortunate, but the battle rages up front. For third spot now is 09 machine of Shane Dublin got a little sideways coming out of turn 4. Side by side behind him.
And Brandon Clemens just ran one of his fastest laps of the race. He just ran a 16.897, and when you're breaking sub 17 seconds in these mini stocks, you are hauling the mail here at the East Carolina Motor Speedway. It is Brandon Clemens, A.J. Sanders, Shane Dublin, Chris Hitu, and Michael Tucker. You look back around the 4th place, that's where the battle is. You got Tucker, Hitu, Pittman.
There's another 44 that's going to bring out the caution.
Dylan Newsom stopping on the back straightaway. We are back under caution for the 6th time for the mini stocks with 37 of 50 laps complete. Every time we have a caution, we bunch these cars back up together, and things tend to happen when these cars are bunched together. This has been a very exciting mini stock race here. PittCountyPost.com and GPAT Channel 23. Greenville Public Access Television and PittCountyPost.com bringing you action from the East Carolina Motor Speedway in Robertsonville.
Yeah, when I read that this race was going to be 50 laps, I just knew there were going to be some fireworks on the racetrack, and so far, I think I was right.
This race turning into the 24 hours of Robertsonville.
Yes. Similar to the 24 hours of Darlington a few years back.
We've seen a few of those. Of course, NASCAR so far this season has been the Kevin Harvick show. Kevin, as of today, has won 3 of the 4 races on the NASCAR circuit.
Yeah, those guys, they're doing pretty good this year, that's for sure.
That's a 750 batting average. That ain't too shabby.
Nope.
In racing or any sport for that matter. It is Brandon Clemens, A.J. Sanders. Watch that 09 of Shane Dublin. He's just been steady. He's been running back around the third spot for the entire race, not being involved in much of anything, just kind of biding his time. I got a feeling that Shane Dublin may have something to say at the finish of this race.
Oh, yeah, I definitely think so. I think he's been just sitting back, kind of waiting, not using up his tires, letting the guys up front do that for him so that he can have an advantage when it comes down to it.
It is Dublin looking back at the 0-1 of Chris Heaton is fourth, Tucker fifth, Joseph Pittman sixth. Robert Moore in the 87 has had an eventful day, but he's back up to seventh. His buddy Tim Grimsley is running eighth. We will watch that battle closely. Jesse Jones will move up to the ninth spot, Ryan Moore to 10th. And those are the cars that are still on the racetrack at this time, with 37 of 50 laps complete in the mini stock division at the East Carolina Motor Speedway.
Yeah, we started out the race with 15 cars. We're down to 10. So
attrition.
Yes.
One to go signal field lining back up 2 by 2. We've seen Clemens and Sanders do battle on these restarts. What has turned into a beautiful day here at the East Carolina Motor Speedway. Again, had a little rain earlier, but the rain is not here. The good Lord has blessed us with a gorgeous Saturday afternoon for racing. PittCountyPost.com, Greenville Public Access TV Channel 23 is Ryland. Another restart with 13 laps to go.
Here we go. Coming out of turn number 4. 2 by 2 by 2. Looking for the green flag in the air. Brandon Clemens gets out for the lead. Dublin's right behind him, though. And car number 24 having to take the outside lane. We're going to see how that plays out. Single file down the back stretch until you get the fourth spot. And that's where you'll find Heaton on the inside of that number 16 machine driven by Michael Tucker.
Clemens likes that inside. He's been able to get the advantage on the last 3 restarts on the inside, but Sanders is there, and we mentioned a couple of minutes ago Shane Dublin right there. Really your top 5, 6 cars. You could throw a blanket under him as Brandon Clemens leads it. We got a battle for second as Shane Dublin would like it. A.J. Sanders says, not this lap, my friend, and he will hold on to the second spot.
Yeah, about a half a lap ago when Dublin got off turn number 2. Looked like he got a little squirrely, collected it. That's going to get 24 that spot. Brandon Clemens up front still. Now he's separated himself by about 4 car lengths of the second spot. A.J. Sanders, and we're going to see if these guys get down to it. We've got 10 laps to go. It's going to be a shootout.
And the thing is, when second, third, and fourth start to battle, that gives Brandon Clemens the opportunity to get a little lead, to build a little deficit over his closest competitors, and that's exactly what he's done. Biggest lead of the day for anybody belongs to Brandon Clemens. Now with
what do we got here on turn number 4? The best pals have gotten together again, and somebody's just shoving the other guy. That's
Moore and Grimsley, they just continue. And I got a feeling that is going to be the last we'll see of the 87 of Robert Moore for the day. And Grimsley gets it righted. But what do you say about that? Obviously some hurt feelings going on between those two guys, and emotions run high in racing, and short track racing especially, and that's what we're seeing here with the mini stocks at the East Carolina Motor Speedway.
Yeah, and I don't know if we're done with it because Moore's coming up awfully quick on Grimsley right now to turn 4. And nearly caused a collision there.
You know, they're having words that I don't think are airworthy.
Yeah, I got a feeling they're probably going to get a black flag. At least Moore would, but
well, certainly he's got some things dragging. He's going to have to at least go. I think he's probably going to get parked. That would be my guess.
Oh yeah, you know, you can't. It's really unsportsmanlike to do what he just did, to kind of shove his way to the back end of that car.
And the sad part is the 87's pretty quick.
Yeah.
I mean, he probably had a top 6 or 7 race car.
Yep.
And just continued to. But, you know, these guys are emotional. Race car drivers are very competitive, very emotional, just like in any other sport. Sometimes tempers get the best. And let's be honest, the fans love it.
Oh, yeah.
The fans love it.
Yep, it's what is the saying? I went to a race or went to a fight.
Went to a fight and a race broke out.
That's it, man.
42 of 50 laps complete. It is the mini stocks. Your leader is Brandon Clemens, A.J. Sanders, Steve Dublin, Chris Hetu. Then the car number 16 of Michael Tucker, Joseph Pittman still running strong. Your top 6 have really been able to break away from the rest of the field.
Yeah, they have.
For the most part today.
Yeah, the field's kind of been separated into 2 packs for the most part. Yeah, that top 5 or 6 folks, they've been very competitive. Throwing a blanket over them would be the way to put it.
And Brandon Clemens has been able to get the jump. He's been taking the inside on these restarts. He's been able to get out ahead of A.J. Sanders.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering if what's going through Sanders' head. Like, well, if he's going to keep doing this, what do I got to do to get around him? We're going to see.
Only 8 laps to go. Coming up later on, we will have coverage of the late models here on PittCountyPost.com and GPAT Channel 23. You didn't know you were going to come to the racetrack and become a TV star today, did you, Rylan?
I did not, but you know.
I'm going to have to hire an agent if this keeps up.
Yeah.
I wonder if Tim Peaden would be my agent. He shook his head no. Okay. I got to, Rylan, I know sometimes you sign autographs for your adoring public. I guess I'm going to have to learn how to do my curly Q autographs kind of like Richard Petty.
Yeah. I didn't get anybody to ask for an autograph when I was down in Daytona. I don't know. Mr. Hot Pass just wasn't warmed up enough.
You had a hot pass at Daytona?
I did.
Must be nice.
Oh, man.
You know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody? Is that the way that works?
Yeah, that's kind of the way they do that. It's just a fun experience. There's actually a lot of tracks where you can get pit passes and actually buy them from the track. It's just a different experience to actually be down there on the ball field or the infield.
Speaking of experiences, this last 8 laps, I think is going to be an experience. Brandon Clemens, A.J. Sanders, Shane Dublin, Chris Hetu, and Michael Tucker with only 8 laps left to go. And I got a feeling we're not done with the cautions.
Yeah, I think you're right about that.
Green flag back in the air. Terry Bullock waves it. Clemens again trying to get a jump. Here comes Dublin in the 09 trying to make it happen.
Yeah, Dublin's not giving up an inch.
Up front, look at this. Dublin in the 09 is sideways trying to make it happen. Brandon Clemens shoots out into the lead, and boy, we have got a hornet's nest from about second on back. Look at this, 3 wide right now. Michael Tucker trying to get involved in this. Chris Hetu trying to get involved in this, and all the while, Brandon Clemens is saying, "Have at it, boys."
Oh yeah, he's loving it. Looking at his rearview mirror, seeing all that fighting going on behind him, and it's about to cook up because we are only 6 laps away. Second spot still belongs to A.J. Sanders, and behind him, Dublin is about to probably make a move.
I will tell you, these second, third, and fourth place cars have got to get lined up, and if they're going to have any chance at all of catching the 7 of Brandon Clemens, as he's pulled out to about a 4-car length lead. A.J. Sanders trying to hang on. Good battle now for third is the 09 of Dublin trying to hold off Hetu in the 01. The 16 of Tucker is 5th. Joseph Pittman now runs 6th. 7th belongs to the Grimsley car, and here we go again. Grimsley and Moore back together. It's funny how 2 cars can just stay tied together for an entire 50-lap race. When they come by, there will be 3 laps to go.
Yeah, let's see what Chris Hetu does on this 09 machine. Past few laps, he's looked to the inside. Kind of thought twice about it. Shane Dublin, he's not going to give up any spots, that's for sure, as they come down the backstretch into turn number 3 for the third to final time.
Tell you what, A.J. Sanders has broken away now from the 3rd place battle. We got about a lap.
Nearly trouble there.
The 09 got punted. That is Dublin. He got the kind of punted out of the way by Hetu. White flag in the air.
Yeah, and I don't think it's over between 3rd, 4th, and 5th. We're going to see as they all scream in turn number 1 for the final time.
All the while, Brandon Clemens is going to lead it. He may win it. Let's watch that battle back around 3rd and 4th and see what happens. Brandon Clemens will take the checkered flag.
Man, that's good racing.
Great race. It'll be Brandon Clemens, A.J. Sanders, Chris Hetu, Michael Tucker, Shane Dublin, Joseph Pittman, Robert Moore, Tim Grimsley. Those are your lead lap vehicles. Your winner, and basically, I won't say he was a dominant car, but he certainly led the most laps, and that was the 7 of Brandon Clemens, your pole sitter. Brandon had a great race today, and he picks up the win for the mini stocks here at the East Carolina Motor Speedway.
You wound up third. Hey, that was a lot of action in 50 laps.
You ain't lying. The first 24, 25 or whatever it was, I told my spotter, I said, what lap is it? He says 25 or something. It's like, damn, it feels like lap 9. But in them last 25, it felt like 150. But I had to work for third. It wasn't given to me.
Well, y'all put on a fantastic show for the fans. Great driving, a lot of action, and I know you got a lot of people you'd like to thank.
Absolutely. I got to thank Autos Food Transport. They provided the car, basically. Wild Child Graphics, MB Long Construction, Applied Power Electric. They come on this weekend, sponsors for a set of tires. That's a big help, huge help. Aaron's Custom Exhaust. I mean, there's so many other people I could thank. My dad, most of all, he's crew chief, and I'm wore out.
I got you. We can't wait to see you come back. Chris Hetu comes home second for PittCountyPost.com, and GPAD 23 will raise you in the 7. Holy smokes, you got the lead a couple of times there, but he was able to beat you on the last 2 or 3 restarts, but you made him earn it today, and it was a great show for the fans.
Well, you know, that's what they pay their money for, is to see a show, and I wasn't going to let him have it. I mean, he's a little bit faster, but I said I already knew my game plan was to wait till later in the race and get on the outside on the restart and drive as deep as I could drive in the corner and pin him down and hope I get the lead, and that's what I done, but I couldn't hold it. I mean, the car just got so loose. I couldn't get no traction from the center off, but hey, it was fun. I hope it was fun for the fans and everybody because, you know, like you say, nobody could just, you know, go on and run off with the races. I mean, even Knight was behind me, nudging me on a couple of restarts going down in the corners. Like I say, that's what the fans come to see, and Brandon deserved it. He just outrun me. That's all you can say. I got to thank my sponsors. You know, without them, you couldn't do this. Carolina Triad Choice Realty, Twin City Towing, Triad Florentine, just everybody, my crew, my wife, family, everybody for just, you know, we come here to have fun, so I hope the fans did.
Well, AJ, it was a great race. Can't wait to see you come back. Congratulations on second, and thanks again for putting on. My goodness, AJ and the whole field, you earned it today. You had a fast car. You won the pole, but this was no cakewalk.
No, sir, not at all. Great racing with AJ. We've had our things in the past, but I mean, that was fun. We never touched and ran hard. Lost the lead there. Shifter's acting up on us a little bit, but prayed to my daddy out there and please let it go and get it the rest of the time, and it did. So it's pretty awesome.
Great win, and you got sponsors and fans to say thank you to. Having the mini cups here is always fantastic.
Yeah, we got a good little series going. We'd like to thank all the fans, of course. Brew Racing Engines, we picked this motor up last night about 5 o'clock, and me and Grant and Billy, we all got it in here and going to come out here today. Smith Custom Homes, Left Turn Designs, H&H Landscaping, Viking Turbine Services, and Braswell's Carpet.
Mini stock winner, Brandon Clemens.
This is Tim Peaden with what's happening down east, and we had a chance to speak with Maddie Ryan before qualifying run on how her car was doing during practice.
Pretty well. In the first practice we went out, it was scraping pretty bad going into and coming off the turn, but we got that fixed our second run out, and the car's handling a lot better in the corners than it was last week, so we're looking very happy about it. We are looking to run a full season down here this year. That is the plan, and we are hoping to compete for the championship this year.
And in the late model division, it was Thomas Burbridge that started on the pole and dominated the field and claimed his first victory in 2018. Now let's go to Alan Vick and Ryan Troll for the play-by-play.
Ernie brings that beautiful East Carolina Motor Speedway pace car onto pit road, ladies and gentlemen. Late model racing underway at the East Carolina Motor Speedway. Thomas Burbage squirts out into the lead. Battle is second. 4-second, Rusty Daniels, Wesley Johnson. Wesley Johnson has it. A hornet's nest behind leader Thomas Burbage. Again, 50 laps the duration for the late models. Thomas Burbage, Wesley Johnson, Rusty Daniels, who made a great return last week with a second-place finish. Hadn't raced with us in a while. He is back in full force. Jeff Shiflett, former track champion, runs in the 4th position. Stroker ace Kenneth Mercer runs in 5th. 6th is Wayne Goss. 7th is Matty Ryan. Thomas Burbage, who struggled a bit last week, but has come back today with a vengeance, won the pole, and leads this race. He's got about 4 car lengths, making 5 car lengths now on Wesley Johnson. Good battle for 3rd as Rusty Daniels has it. Jeff Shiflett would like to have it, and Kenneth Mercer is right there. Coverage of the late models from the East Carolina Motor Speedway for PitCountyPost.com and GPAT Channel 23. What has turned into a beautiful Saturday afternoon. I'm Alan Vick. Thank you for letting me spend some time with you. Thank you for letting me come into your home. Whether you're watching on PitCountyPost.com or on GPAT Channel 23, you are seeing the best late model racing in the Southeast United States at the East Carolina Motor Speedway in Robertsonville, North Carolina. Thomas Burbage has led the first 6 laps, but Wesley Johnson all of a sudden is starting to reel him in. Wesley just turned his fastest lap of the race, and Rusty Daniels is right there. A 4-car breakaway up front, about 5 car lengths back to Kenneth Mercer, Wayne Goss, and Matty Ryan. Thomas Burbage, your track champion, broken shoulder last year on a dirt bike accident, basically drove with one arm for the second half of the season and drove one-armed all the way to a championship. Best battle on the racetrack is now the 12 of Johnson, the 16 of Daniels, as Rusty gives Wesley a little bit of a tap. Rubbin is racing, and Rusty Daniels looking for second. Thomas Burbage leads it, coming by to complete lap number 10, a 50-lap late model race. Here is your NASCAR Whelen All-American Series home track, the East Carolina Motor Speedway. Burbage, Johnson, Daniels, Shiflett, Mercer, Goss, and Ryan. 7 late models romping and stomping around the East Carolina Motor Speedway, turning laps in the 15.5-second bracket right now. They are hauling the mail. Fastest last time by was Jeff Shiflett in the 0-1. He knows how to get around this old racetrack. He's a former track champion. Rusty Daniels, who did not race with us last year, brought that car out of the mothballs and drove it to a second-place finish last week. He is all over the back bumper. Caution. Caution on the racetrack. Matty Ryan in the 10 has spun. She did not hit anything. She was able to keep that car off the guardrail. Matty Ryan in the 10 car spins, and we're under caution at lap number 12. Here at the East Carolina Motor Speedway, the late models, Matty Ryan should be able to get that vehicle turned around once she can get fired. We'll see if she can get it fired. Looks like she's going to need a push, what we're hearing. She may need a push start. Maddie committing to run the full schedule here at the East Carolina Motor Speedway this year and running for a championship after running at tracks like Langley Speedway. She is a very talented young lady who is going to be making a name for herself here in Robertsonville. Looks like she's going to bring the car down off the banking. Don't know if it's fired or not. Don't think so. Under caution, lap 13, Thomas Burbage leads Wesley Johnson, Rusty Daniels, Jeff Shiflett, Kenneth Mercer, Wayne Goss, and Matty Ryan. My name's Alan Vick. Appreciate you spending some time with me here on PitCountyPost.com at GPAT Channel 23. My buddy Tim Peaden behind the camera today here at the East Carolina Motor Speedway. What's happening down east? What's happening to Ladies and gentlemen, back underway, green flag. And Thomas Burbage gets the jump. The battle is for second. It's Rusty Daniels on the inside. Wesley Johnson on the outside. Jeff Shiflett kind of watching and waiting. He sticks his nose in there. Top four cars right together. Look at this. Rusty Daniels moves to second. He was able to get around Wesley Johnson. Rusty Daniels has been awfully impressive the first 2 weeks here in Robertsonville. Long-time competitor, but Rusty taking some time off. But that 16 car is just as strong as it was back in the day. Here comes Jeff Shiflett trying to get inside of Wesley Johnson. This will be a battle for third. Thomas Burbage, Rusty Daniels, and a side-by-side scrape between Jeff Shiflett in the 0-1 and Wesley Johnson in the 12. Shiflett going to try to make it happen. He can't do it. Johnson fights back on the outside. Kenneth Mercer watching this battle from about 2 car lengths back. Burbage, Daniels, side-by-side, Shiflett and Johnson coming around to complete lap number 18 of 50. Up on the board as they flash by the start-finish line and flagman Terry Bullock. Third lap in a row now, Shiflett and Johnson side by side. Great action here at your NASCAR Whelen All-American Series home track, the East Carolina Motor Speedway. That battle is now settled. Jeff Shiflett moves to third, dropping Wesley Johnson back to fourth. And watch Rusty Daniels. He is slowly creeping up on the back bumper of Thomas Burbage as they are running almost identical lap times. Burbage last time around 15.527. Rusty Daniels a 15.541. So less than a blink of an eye difference between the 9 of Burbage and 16 of Daniels. This time by, when they come by the start-finish line, 22 laps complete. It has been a great day at the East Carolina Motor Speedway. Had a little rain. We were about 45 minutes late getting started because of a shower, but it has cleared up and turned into a gorgeous Saturday afternoon at your fan-friendly track. Bring the kids. All ages love racing. Race fans are the most loyal, best fans in the world. And we are seeing great racing action, race number 2 of the 2018 season. Burbage, Daniels, Shiflett, Johnson, Mercer, and Goss. As Matty Ryan, they've stopped working on that number 10. Something broke, I think, in the left rear of that car. Tough break for that young lady, but she'll be back. She's got a lot of talent. Last couple laps by. Caution. Caution on the racetrack. Must be some debris somewhere. Don't see any car in trouble. Caution number 2, maybe the halfway caution. It's a competition caution. The late models here at the East Carolina Motor Speedway. And the green flag back in the air. Burbage gets the jump and gets a little tap from oh, this is going to be, whoa. They stacked up, and Wesley Johnson got the worst of that as he smacked the wall. Looking at the right side of that number 12 to see if there's any damage, but Wesley definitely, they kind of accordioned. Daniels got into Burbage, Shiflett got into Daniels, and Johnson had nowhere to go. That's just racing. Nothing intentional there, but we're really going to have to watch that 12 car as he definitely made the hardest contact. 27 of 50 laps complete. Thomas Burbage, last year's track champion, is your leader. Yeah, definitely the right front fender on the 12 car is bowed out a little bit. That's going to affect the handling of that car. It's unfortunate. Wesley really had nothing to do with that. He was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. And running at speeds of well over 100 miles an hour, when you hit that concrete wall, 9 times out of 10, you're going to do some damage to the race car. 30 down, 20 to go for the late models. Thomas Burbage has led every lap, but he's got company. Here comes Jeff Shiflett. The top three are under a blanket and right together. This is anybody's race. In the last couple of laps, Jeff Shiflett has been the fastest car on the racetrack in the third position. As a matter of fact, both Rusty Daniels and Jeff Shiflett a little quicker than your leader, Thomas Burbage. It is Burbage, Daniels, Shiflett, Johnson, Mercer, and Goss. The laps click off in a hurry for the late models here at the East Carolina Motor Speedway. It's what's happening down east. PittCountyPost.com and GPAT Channel 23. East Carolina Motor Speedway in Robertsonville. On the web, ecspeedway.com. Also check out Facebook for the latest happenings at the Speedway. And PittCountyPost.com for everything at ECMS. If you've never been to the track, we invite you out. You will love it. It is a family-friendly atmosphere. Plenty of good food, plenty of fun for the entire family. Bring the kids, bring mom and dad and grandma and grandpa, and enjoy some of the best racing in the state of North Carolina and beyond. Right here, East Carolina Motor Speedway, your NASCAR Wheeling All-American home track with now 14 laps to go in the race. And Thomas Burbage has led them all, but this by no means has been an easy ride for Burbage. But all of a sudden, he has picked up the pace as we see Jeff Shiflett now trying to draw in on Rusty Daniels. That is a battle for second, and Shiflett is right there. Jeff Shiflett from Moyock, North Carolina, right on the Virginia border. Shiflett on the inside, Daniels on the outside. Jeff Shiflett trying to get around Rusty Daniels to go after Thomas Burbage. And you gotta know Thomas Burbage is loving it, because the longer these two race side by side, the quicker he can get away. He's running lap times about 3/10 quicker than the second and third place cars while they're running side by side. Jeff Shiflett makes the pass. He's got 10 laps to make it happen. 40 of 50 complete. It is Burbage, Shiflett, Daniels, Johnson now feeling the heat. Back around fourth and fifth is Kenneth Mercer trying to make that pass. Obviously, Wesley Johnson was struggling, and that contact to the wall on the restart has really hurt that 12 car. Coming by to complete 42 of 50 here at the East Carolina Motor Speedway. PittCountyPost.com, GPAT Channel 23. What's happening down east? Today at the East Carolina Motor Speedway in Robertsonville, your NASCAR Wheeling All-American Series home track since 1990. Racing action, 3/8 of a mile. A tough old driver's track. Let's look at this battle for fourth. Kenneth Mercer in the white 25 on the inside of Wesley Johnson in the 12. Wesley started second. And Wesley won last week, but he has not had a particularly good race today. As Burbage continues to lead Jeff Shiflett, Rusty Daniels' best battle is still Wesley Johnson and Kenneth Mercer. Wayne Goss runs into sixth position with now 4.5 laps left to go. When Thomas Burbage crosses the start-finish line, there'll be 4 laps left. Hey, don't forget at the end of the race, we'll go down trackside and have a word with our top 3 finishers. And right now, this race firmly in the hands of Thomas Burbage, your 2017 East Carolina Motor Speedway late model champion. Burbage, the only car still running laps in the 15-second range. 15.929 that last time by. Kenneth Mercer, they call him Stroker Ace. Remember the movie Burt Reynolds? Clyde Torkel's Chicken Pickin' Special? With Burt Reynolds and Lonnie Anderson, Stroker Ace, 1982 or 3, I believe. And right now, Thomas Burbage has got it going on. White flag in the air for last year's track champion, Thomas Burbage, has about a half a lap to go to pick up his first victory of 2018. It's Burbage, Shiflett, Daniels. Watch that battle for fourth. Wesley Johnson trying to hold off Kenneth Mercer. Coming to the line, your winner, Thomas Burbage. Jeff Shiflett, Rusty Daniels. Here's that battle for fourth. Wesley Johnson takes it over Kenneth Mercer. Wayne Goss will finish sixth. Your winner, Thomas Burbage.
Last week you get a second, this week you get a third coming back. You mentioned last week you pulled this car out, did a lot of second, third. You got to be pleased with the way 2018 has started.
Yeah. Can't thank Kevin Bell enough, car owner, my crew, Craig Baker, Pete Gaskell, my family for putting up with it. Solid Rock's a great sponsor out of LaGrange, North Carolina. Daniels Race Engines, Farm Bureau, Graphics CNC, Jedco Lawn Care. I'm sure I'm missing some, but anyway. Just thank all the fans for coming out. We'll see if we can't get a little bit better for next time.
April 7th, next up, Rusty Daniels finishes third. Jeff, I thought you were really coming on and getting stronger and stronger. You proved it today, finishing second. You're going to be something to deal with, I think, in 2018.
Yeah, I hope you're right. I wish I'd have had a few more laps because I was catching Burbage, and congratulations to him on the win. And I'd like to thank Rusty and Wesley that drove me clean. And me and Wesley, me and Rusty, we put on one heck of a show for the fans. And I'd like to thank the fans for being here. And I'd like to thank East Carolina Motor Speedway. I want to thank my crew, and I need to thank my sponsors, Curve Orthopedic Group, East Coast Valve, Beach Radiator, Mayock Automotive, Williams Oral Surgery, and my number one sponsor, Wise Motors. If you need a car, make the wise choice. Go to Wise Motors.
Jeff Shiflett comes home second. Another great 17-track champion. Getting back to 100% physically. You were off a little bit last week, but you got it turned around big time today. Got the pole, led all the laps, and got the win.
Yeah, we worked on this car hard for 2 weeks, and we had a little motor problem. We had an engine builder have a problem with pistons. We couldn't get our motor back in time, so we used a motor that was really down on horsepower. Got this motor Wednesday, put it in Thursday night, and this thing was on a rail today. I mean, it was unbelievably fast. So I want to say hats off to all these guys that help me out week in, week out. Chris helps me out at the shop. We bust our tails, and here we are.
Thomas Burbage well on the way to defending the championship. Make it back to back.
Yeah, we hope so. We'll go home and look at everything, make sure everything's still in its place, and maybe even make it a little better. I can tell you, we had a whole lot left there at the end, and I was really happy with the car. And I could run the car hard when I wanted to, and back off the car when I needed to, and it really showed. I just want to thank all my guys. I want to thank Oak Ridge Industries. Harmony Racing came on board. CNG Used Cars, West Park Motor Company, all these people. I got one that's not on the car. He's come on. East Carolina Plumbing. I got a whole lot of supporters, and this is what we do, and we do it well.
You got a whole lot of fans. Congratulations, Thomas Burbage, your winner. Woo! See ya.
And until next time, this is Tim Peaden with What's Happening Down East.